This is the Electric Coast channel. I welcome you. This is Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis, and Tweak. We're going to be discussing, again, electric football. And we're going to cover a couple of plays and do some analysis. This track that's playing right now is entitled Supercharger, Reborn. We're going to give everybody time to get in. Starting off a little late today. I intended to try and get in here earlier, but there were some circumstances. So we're here now. This is the Electric Coast channel, and I welcome you to Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis, and Tweak. Going to give everybody time to get in before we start to cook. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Electric Coach channel. This is Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis and Tweak. I'm Mo, and I welcome you. Welcome everyone to the Electric Coach channel. And this is Electric Football Open Talk, Analysis, and Tweak. Going to give folks time to get in, and we'll start to cook. How's it going, the Lally Y? The tri-state area. Let me see. I'm not familiar. My geography is off. What area are you talking about? I mean, we're all over the country, but what area are you speaking of specifically? My geography escapes me right now. And welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Okay, you talking about New York, New Jersey, Connecticut? Excuse me, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Yeah, I mean we got guys in New York and Jersey. As far as Connecticut is concerned, I'm not sure about Connecticut. But for the most part, we have coaches all over the country. You can join us on Facebook. Um, if you come to Facebook and type in the center, that's THE, excuse me, CENTER, or you can type in the MFCA. Well, as a matter of fact, let me do this. Didn't intend to go on the web today, but since you're here, I'll show you the Facebook page. Just let me get in position here. Let me get this website up real quick. Stand by just a moment, and I'll show you our Facebook page. Take you there. Hang on. And besides, we're still waiting for more people to come in. got this. All right. Okay, Delali. The page you're looking at here is the Kansas City Electric Football League. You can come here and you'll be able to get in contact with the entire electric football community. This is one of the leagues in our community here. Um, we also have a league in Houston. Of course, these areas are nowhere near New York or New Jersey. I'm trying to find the MFCA page, and it doesn't appear to be coming up here. MFCA. Let's see what this is. Okay, you can come to the MFCA Sports Network, and here you can again with all these pages you can meet the entire electric football community, and I'm here also. I'm the electric coach. I go by the on Facebook. I go by the name of Mo Robertson. So, yeah, you come here, you'll meet guys in New York. We got guys there definitely. And we got guys in Jersey as well. All right. So, welcome to the chat, and we're gonna be on here talking about bass tweaking, and got a couple of plays I want to analyze and discuss with everyone here. So far, you're the only one in the chat, so we'll see how it goes. At any rate, well, I'm still gonna cook anyway, so yeah, we're gonna give some guys more time to come in. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to the game table, and let's put some more music back on. Let's see. Delali, it's okay. If you want to talk, you can. You don't have to like wait. If you got any questions you want to ask, you come on with them. You and I talk. We'll kick it. Yeah, so we got two concurrent viewers. You know, some more people need to get in here because we about to start. I'm going to start in about 5 minutes. So we're looking at 8:55. So around about 9 o'clock, we're gonna go ahead and finish it off. Go ahead and get this video kicked off. You know, don't intend to be here long. Not going 4 hours like we did before. All right. Switch back. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Looks like it's just gonna be you, Delali. Got two concurrent viewers, but only one person is in the chat. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Hey, the last two lives that I had done here on the Electric Coast channel, uh, entitled "Electric Football Open Talk Analysis and Tweak," was centered around a single base. And I have here the base that these three videos was all about. I spread out the the tweaking process of this bass. Now I know some of you are wondering, what is that in your hand, Mo? Well, this right here is a clamp that I'm using to hold the bass and this trimmer tool together, which I'm going to show you a close-up picture of, because this tool is going to help me to clip or trim the tips of the bass using these straight edge toenail clippers. All right, and I had to hold it. Well, it came off here, but I basically set the bass on this tile right here. This is a 1.5 millimeter thickness trim guide. And you got other thicknesses here. You got 2 millimeters, you got 2.5 millimeter, and 3 millimeter. I had this on the 1.5 millimeter, right? And the tips of the prongs protrude evenly outside of this trimming device right here. So I will simply take my straight edge clippers, go here where the prongs are protruding from, and snip them off. And that's going to enhance our tweak a little bit better. All right. So I'm going to take you over to some pictures, and I want to show you the bass close up, or with this clamp device I was using. Let's go over to the desktop real quick. All right. Now, here was the bass in the first video, first and second video. That's the business side of the bass you see right there, where the prongs are protruding from the shell of the bass. These are the prongs right here. All right. Now, Delali, you're new. I haven't met you before, so I don't know where you are in this hobby, how involved you are. All right. So forgive me if I'm, preaching to the choir, if you will. But this video is also for anybody else who comes in later and watch it. But these are the prongs you're looking at, right? And you'll see on one of the prongs, there's a little bit of flash, all right, on those prongs. This prong right here and that prong right there. If you look at the tips, you'll see a little bit of extra plastic protruding from the prongs. That plastic has been melted away using a cigarette lighter in the previous video. All right. So we move up a bass, another one. Okay. Here is the bass, the current bass now. That's the rear of the bass. Let me move up one more picture here. Okay, that's the front of the bass. And you'll see how the tips of the prongs are protruding from that white edge right there. All right. So that edge is going to make it possible for me to trim off those tips. All right. This is a tweak technique that a lot of guys in the community use, where you trim the tips of the prongs to make the bass a little bit lower. And sometimes when you got a lower bass, you get a little bit more power out of the bass. All right. And we're going to trim these front tips right here in this video. Like I said earlier, this bass was discussed in the previous two videos. Go to the game table. This bass right here was discussed in the previous two videos. and it's being discussed now because we're we're still tweaking this bass. Now, make no mistake, it doesn't take hours to tweak a bass. Um, I had to, in order to show you, in order to demonstrate how a bass is tweaked, I had to slow things down a bit. All right. Normally, you could tweak a bass within 10 minutes. Give or take. Maybe 7 minutes, what have you, 8 minutes, what have you. All right. But for the sake of this video, I stretched 3 videos over this single bass here on the game table. All right. So we have our clamp. I'm going to move this out of the way because I just needed this to hold the bass so I could take that picture that I just showed you. All right. So we'll put that over there. And we are going to first, before we do that, before we clip, because here's the thing when you start clipping parts of your bass or melting your bass, there's no coming back. All right. So I got a coffee mug warmer over here warming these pliers because I intend to use these warm pliers on the prongs. All right. So we're going to run this bass real quick. Make sure we still got the same performance out of it. Now, throughout the videos, this bass was turning to the left. All right. So as you tweak your bass, the bass is going to talk to you. It's going to tell you what it wants to do. All right. And this bass is showing me that it wants to play on this side of the board. So I'm already thinking perhaps a cornerback bass. You see that? So there's a possibility I can blitz from over here. All right. That's another video. Okay. So I'm checking comments. Got 4 concurrent viewers, but only 1 person in the chat. Don't be shy, guys. You come on in, say hello. Let's talk a little bit. All right. So we're running the bass again. It's showing us good speed, good movement. All right? Because initially, when this bass came out of the pack, brand new, the bass couldn't move. It was hopping in place. So if you go back to the first live electric football open talk video, right, which was done about maybe 8 days ago or something like that. If you go back there and watch that video, you'll see what this bass was when it first came out. That video was 4 hours, by the way. All right, so bear with me on that video. You can skip through it if you feel the need to do so. And then the second video was a couple hours. All right. So now I want to get this bass separated from the figure. This is the figure I was testing the bass on. So I'm gonna set them over there. And we're going to get our trim tool. All right. And like I said earlier, you got different thicknesses, right? And the varied thicknesses will expose a certain amount of prong on the other side of the trim tool. All right. So I want to use the 1.5 millimeter tool here. This is 1.5 millimeter, right? So I'm going to trim the front prongs first. So if you look at the bass this way, see if we can get the light here. Okay, this is the front of the bass, and in the case of this video, this is the top. And this is the back of the bass, or the bottom of the bass. All right, so the bass will go this way, right? Okay, we got 6 concurrent viewers. Still, only 1 person in the chat. Don't be shy, guys. You want to come on in and say hello? Come on. We're all friends here. Okay, here's our trim tool. Our straight edge toenail clipper. All right. And we're going to grab our tweak tool. And all I want to clip right now is the front prongs. So I set the base on here. And I get all the prongs to show, to expose themselves on the other side of this tool. All right. Now you don't want to press down too hard on the base because you don't want the base to spread out, and that will cause the prongs to spread, and you'll get an uneven cut. All right. Okay. So I'm checking the messages, so I'm moving my hands away so I can turn and look at my screen here. So I see my concurrent viewers of 5. Still only one person in the chat. Okay. So then let me get my hands in position. I have my clippers. And I simply want to lay the clippers on to the base. And trim. All right. A little jagged there. There's no need to worry because we only trimmed a small portion of plastic off those prongs. And if push comes to shove, we can always go to our lighter again, right? And melt off any excess. Now, there's some, if you look, see if I can get in the camera here. There's some little crumbs there from the base. All right. Clean those off. See what we got. Gotta do the eye test. Okay. Do one more trim on this outside prong right here. Okay, this prong over here didn't get bit all the way through. Now you want to have your magnifying glasses also with this. I didn't put my glasses on. I didn't put my magnifying glasses on for this trim right here. These right here. So I got my headphones on. So I'm doing this by eye. Got 6 concurrent viewers. All right. Still only one person is talking. Okay. But we're going to continue on. Now I got to get this prong. Got to finish off this prong on the far outside right here. Okay. Yeah, got all of them. Right. Not too bad. Not too bad. Perhaps in another video, I'll take a picture of that and talk more on it because there's still, base tweaking is there are a lot of things you can do to a base, and I believe it's not possible to cover it all in one video without the video being too long. Okay, so I got a trim here, and the base appears to be balanced. So we're going to run it real quick and see what our trim produced. And you see that? Now the base is running to the right. First it was running this way. Now it's going over there. See? But that's okay. That's a good thing. Let's see what we got here. See what we got. Things look balanced. Uh-huh. The right side of the figure, the prongs are slightly a bit lower. Not a problem. So what we'll do is, I'm going to take my flat duckbill pliers here, and I want to smash on these prongs a little bit more. You can stretch your prongs also, but you want to be careful of that as well, because just like clipping and melting, when you stretch your prongs, they're pretty much fixed like that. All right? Let's run it. Okay, we got a little bit more forward progress. Reason why is because these prongs on this side of the base right here at the front, I use my flat pliers, and I pressed on those prongs a little bit more to bring them out some more. All right, I'm gonna press on these ones as well, the other ones. All right, and I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna run the lighter over those front prongs one more time. All right, let's run it. Okay, now it's going back consistently to the right. And while I got it here, I'm gonna do a little resistance test. I'm gonna put it up against a heavier figure and base that's already been tested and tweaked. Let's see what happens. Still gets pushed off the ball. No problem. The figure is heavier, so let's do it again. All right. Hey, this is what EF is all about. You take one base at a time, one figure at a time, and you work with it until you get that base to where you want it to be. We have 7 concurrent viewers. Only one person's talking. So now I want to test this base on my custom soon-to-be Chiefs figure. So we're going to slide this base off and put it on this guy and see what it does. Now, on this figure, the base travels to the left. It's got good get off and good speed. That's a good thing. See, here's the thing with base tweaking, right? Your figure, the figure that you mount the base on, can have an effect on the performance of the base. All right? So now the base is back moving to the left again. So we're going to do this now. I'm going to take this pose and I want to put it on the base that we're tweaking, right? We're going to see what it does. See? This is how I tweak my bases. I go with everything. After everything I do to a base, before I move to the next thing, I test. When the base first comes out the pack, before I do anything, I put the base on the board to see what it does. And then I start my process into tweaking the base, and I test the base after each thing I do to it. That way I can keep track of what the base is doing or not doing, or what it did previously. All right? Got 6 concurrent viewers in the room, only one person talking. Now, on this figure, base runs back, it's going back to the right. So that shows you that the pose of the figure is has an effect on the bass as you tweak it. All right. So when I put it back, when I put the bass back on this standard Haiti Repro figure, no customization, a standard figure, right? The bass runs like this. It's going to the right, but it goes a little further up the board. All right. So now what I'm going to do here is I am going to put my lighter on those prongs again. I'm going to flash those prongs one more time. All right. So I got my flame going, right? Do it again. Make sure you don't want to keep the fire in the plastic. You don't want to do that because you'll melt your plastic, right? Okay. Do a quick pass of the lighter. Let's see what happens. Now we got a little bit more speed out of it, but I'm not satisfied because when you put heat on your base, there's a short period where the plastic is soft and it grips the board a little bit better. So you might want to give the base, a few more seconds to cool off. All right. Okay, got a little bit more movement. I'm liking how this bass is turning out so far. And this is an ITZ bass, by the way, for anybody out there who is not familiar. These are the Blitz basses. They got different types. You got the dial Blitz basses also. All right, and they got different textures of plastic. I digress for a moment, but I just want to give a short talk on the different kinds of plastic that ITZ makes their bases with. The Foreman 37 bases are softer plastic than your Formula 55 or your Formula 100s. And usually softer bases means grip. You have a Formula 24 also. And if you don't have these bases and when you do get them, you're gonna notice that the plastic is very malleable. It's soft. And your Formula 55 bases are a little bit more stiff. Now, so far, what we've done to this base throughout the 3 videos we've done, right? We've aligned our prongs using the needle nose pliers. We flattened our prongs using these duckbill pliers, these thin duckbill pliers. And we also use our Zurn pliers to dig a little deeper into flattening the prongs. And I'm going to do that again here on these front prongs. All right, and these Zurn pliers, they're a little bit more, they're more like pinchers. All right. You really get leverage on these prongs. And you can really bite down on them and flatten them out. Because what you're doing, essentially what you're doing to a bass when you tweak it, you're breaking the bass in. Have you ever, do you have like a pair of shoes? They fit just right. They hug your feet just right. They're not too tight, not too loose. And you got good grip on the floor when you walk in those shoes. That's basically what you're doing to a bass. You're breaking that bass in. You're softening it so that bass becomes more responsive when you turn the board on. So I bit down a little bit more on those front prongs using this Zurn pliers. Excuse me. 8 concurrent viewers in the chat. Only one person talking. Only one person's here, that is. Let's run it. Okay, going back to the right again. So we're going to take our needle nose pliers and we're going to do a little twist work. Going to twist on these prongs a little bit to see if this base is responsive to going straight. See, some bases, some bases are going to do what they're going to do regardless. After you tweak that base say, I'm going to go this way, and it does just that. And when you have a base that's like that, you leave it alone. Because I say that because you can over tweak a base. You can do too much to a base. Okay, welcome, Leon. Welcome, man. You sit here, thanks for the good tweaking info. Yeah, it's my pleasure. That's what this channel is all about. It's about teaching the hobby and representing the hobby of electric football. You also said, I hope you end up straightening the base out. I'm getting all the way frustrated tweaking. Hey, listen, this base right now is not bad. Okay? See that? It went from the left to the right and now straight. And it's fast. All right? That's what these videos were about. Now, Leon, you were here in the first chat that we did, right? Electric Football Open Talk. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were here, right? So you've seen all three videos. Because if you did, you remember what this base was doing when it first came out of the package. It came out of this pack of bases right here. I can recreate that for you with these bases because this lot of bases right here all have the same, I won't say issue, but they're all going to do the same thing. When you first take it out the package and put it on the board, the base is going to stand still. Okay, yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. You remember this base when I first took it out the pack? It came out of this pack right here. I've been saving this for this video, right? I've been stretching out the prong. I've been stretching out the tweak of this base for these videos, so that guys who struggle with tweaking can get some kind of understanding and experience in base tweaking. Now, I noticed you said you're frustrated tweaking. Okay, what issues are you having? Talk to me. Maybe we can help resolve that issue right here on the Electric Coach channel. While I wait for your response, we'll run this base some more. Now, we still haven't trimmed the back prongs yet. Still haven't done that yet. Now, while I have it, I'm gonna do a resistance test. We're gonna put it up against this guy right here. He's a little bit heavier. And this base, by the way, has been tweaked as far as I'm concerned. It's been tweaked to do what I need for it to do. Let's test him out. Okay, he still gets pushed off, but that's okay because this figure in base is light. It's lighter than that Chiefs figure right there. You see, right? Okay, you said first issue is tweaking a base to go straight. I think I see too many 20 videos with bases going perfectly straight. Okay. Here's the thing with straight bases, looping bases, what have you. I know that when I tweak, right? This is one of my things I look out for. I try to watch big time. Let me get my thicker pliers. Y'all don't have let me get a thick pair of pliers that will show up on the screen here. Okay. These are my big boys right here. See that? Now, when you reach into your prong, right, with your pliers, be careful not to twist your hand like this. Watch your hand placement. See? Because when you flatten your prong, right, and you're grabbing it, you're smashing down on it, you have a tendency to turn a little bit, and you don't even know it. And you'll be doing all your prongs like that. And then when you put the base on the board, your player run will turn on you. See? So if you have a base that's turning, what else you said right here? You said second issue is strength, but I'll wait for you to get finished. All right, I'm using the clear, fast bliss bases, but I'm not having good success. Okay. Regardless if it's your clear bases, your green base, your blue, right? What you got? You got tutor Miggle. You got tutor total team control bases, right? Every base, all bases, regardless of brand, they have one thing in common. They all have prongs. So whether it's a Formula 37, Formula 55, hard plastic, soft plastic, if you twist those prongs, if you accidentally twist those prongs, that twist is going to cause your figure to run off. All right? That's one thing that'll cause the base turn. Now, if you make a mistake and say, like I just trimmed these front prongs earlier in this clip, in this video, right? I trimmed these front prongs right here using straight edge pliers, straight edge toenail clippers, and of course with this with the help of this trim guide tool here, right? I trimmed those prongs. Let's say you make a mistake and you clip one side shorter than the other. Let's say you don't have this tool and you try to trim your bases by eye. Now, if you do that, that will cause your base to turn also. Let's see what else we got. You said, a welcome AEFL. I've got really good results with the new ITZ. His base is very busy, very easy to tweak. Very little flash and prongs, fairly straight out of the bag, inexpensive. And Leon Norris, you went on to say, right now I have a base going somewhat straight, but they are not running smooth like one of my other CO1 bases. They instead are bouncing up and down. Okay, yeah, all right. The bouncing of your figure, the bouncing of that base, if the base is moving and is bouncing, you want to look at how much curl you got in the base. Now, you mentioned CL1s, right? I happen to have a CL1 right here on the board. See, these CL1 prongs, they're very wide. See? And if you put too much curl on these wide prongs, I'm going to use this little sheet right here, right, as an example. I got a toothpaste tube here, an empty toothpaste tube. I use it as a model. I forgot to bring it down, pull it down. When your prongs contact the board, all right, let's get this out of the way. You know, I'm over here showing you guys all this stuff and messing the board up. I want you to look at this piece of plastic right here. This is a little gauge right here for bolts and stuff. Don't mind these little edges right here. Think of this as the tip of the base. your prongs lay down like this. Let me do it sideways. They lay down like that. All right. Now imagine this is the back of the base, right? Those prongs are laying down like this. If they're laying down too much like that, your base is going to drag. All right. Now the front of the base, if your prongs are doing this right, doing the same thing, right? But if that prong is laying down too much, or if that figure is causing the base to bounce, the prong of those CL1s is going to lick the board. Think of your tongue licking, right? And if that base, if the plastic on that base is soft, it's going to cause your figure to jerk and bounce. That's one thing that makes your figure bounce and jerk like that. The other thing, if the base is new and the prongs are sitting straight up just like this, right? The base is going to bounce in place. That's all it's going to do. As a matter of fact, since I went there, I'm going to take one of these new bases out that this base came from, all right? And this base as well, all right? I was working on this one as I started this video, but we're not going to talk about this one right now. I'm going to grab another one out of here. This base right here, all right? I'll just pack. I'll get to the questions in a minute, guys. Let me finish this this thought. Okay, here we have brand new base, right? Fresh. Now we're gonna put a figure on there. This is a B-nut figure, by the way. It looks just like a Haiti Repro defensive back, but the configuration is a bit different. All right, the mold is different, but I digress. We're going to put this guy on this new base, and we're going to put him next to our guy that we're tweaking. Watch. He's still here. If your base is doing that, it's doing that because the prongs are sticking straight up. See, the prongs don't have a lean on them. They don't have a slant to them, and that's what tweaking does. Okay, let me get in here. Let's see. Kenneth Fishew, what's up, Coach? How you doing, man? Also, show an example of trimming. Leon, trimming the prongs. I did that earlier in this video. All right. It's a CL1, CL2 fast base though. Okay, Fishew, what's up, coaches? It's Coach Ken Fish. Love to hit bases. Okay, welcome, Kenneth. So why do I flatten the prongs in general, whether front or back prongs? Okay, the reason why you got to flatten the prongs is because what you're doing is you are reducing the amount of cross-section the prong is on the board. All right? Let me go. I'm going to bring you over to the desktop, and I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to go to the desktop, and I'm going to show you what I mean by the cross-section of a prong. Let me get into position over here. So I got to move away from the game table and come over to the desktop. I want to get you a picture real quick of a base and how it looks when it contacts the board. Let's see. I'm gonna grab this one. I'll bring you over to the desktop in a moment. Let me while I have you here at the board. All right. And here's why you flatten prongs. Now, you see the base and how it contacts, how the prongs meet the board, right? That green on green may throw you off a little bit. I'm going to start here. All right? Now, this is a side view of the base and the prongs meeting the board. Do you see that side of the prong there and the side of the prong there on that side? See? And you have a side here and a side there. That is what you're flattening. See? And when you smash that, right? By smashing that those prongs, right, or flattening the prongs, you make the bass more responsive on the board, see? And you help the bass to grip the board surface better. Now, strength and speed, right? As you tweak your bass, that bass is going to get faster. That's another reason why flattening the prongs is so important. Now, some coaches, there's some guys in the hobby, when they flatten the prongs on their bass, I mean, they really lean into those pliers, man, and they smash the prongs so thin that the plastic almost becomes transparent. All right? Now, when you do that, you push the bass almost to a place where it can you push the bass to a point where it's almost unusable when you press when you press down that hard on your pliers. So this is why I tell anybody, when you're new to tweaking, before you start really beating up your basses, tearing because I'm gonna give it to you straight. When you tweak a bass, you basically tear the bass up. You bust that bass down. And if you're new to it, what's the best way to angle back or prongs? Yeah, see, I'll get to that question in a moment, Leon. If you're new to tweaking and that's the better picture here of a cross section. All right. If you're new to tweaking and you bite down on those prongs, if you do it too much, you could render your bass useless. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for nobody, but you weaken the bass when you do that. Yes, you are essentially weakening the bass, and that's where you're not there yet. Okay? I don't want to be condescending to people new in the hobby, but you're not there yet. You're not ready to really dig into your bass like that yet. All right? Because, I'm going to keep it real. These basses, if the bass not on sale, if a pack of basses aren't on sale, a pack of basses from ITZ costs about $25. And that's straight up with no sale. All right? So I tell anybody that come on my channel or anybody I talk to who's new, use my technique. You see me, I can beat my basses up because I'm like that. I'm good like that. Y'all ain't like me. All right? But if you new, you ain't ready to start smashing out your prongs, and then when the bass don't act right, you don't know what to do. Follow my concept. Follow my practices. And as you grow in this, you'll see the bass will talk to you. When the bass runs, it'll show you what it needs. You see? Let the bass tell you what it wants to do. Start with one bass. Don't grab. You working on one bass, right? And then that one bass don't act right, and then you go get a new bass and start over. Then you end up, you got a whole pack of basses damaged, tore up. You don't want to do that. One bass, one bass at a time. Cause I got some scrap basses up here from back in the day when I first started tweaking, and I've been in this game my whole life. You know, and when I came back to the hobby in 2002, the guys in the community were talking about bass tweaking. And when I was a kid coming up, we just used our fingers. We sweep the prongs back with our fingers, and we had a typical, we had the traditional tutor board and figures and basses, right? And we hoped you had to play and hope that you had one good bass that could go straight. We didn't know anything about tweaking, and we certainly wasn't gonna put no fire to our plastic. All right, wasn't gonna do that because hey, at 10 years old, look, I don't know about you, but my parents told me, we gonna buy this for you one time, and if you mess it up, we ain't buying no more. And the game came with 22 bases. You ain't have extra bases, so if you mess the base up, look, one of your players is gonna be out. All right. So when I came back in the hobby in 2022 as a grown man, that's another thing with this tweaking thing. This is grown man work right here. This game right now on this level, the level I'm showing you, this level is for adults. All right. If you new, do not beat your bases down where the base is unusable. I'm gonna show you a picture of a tore up bass. I'm gonna show you a picture. Just gotta scroll through here and find it real quick. Let's see. I got it on here somewhere. I want to show you a picture. Wow. I was just looking at it. I want to show you what a overtweaked bass looks like. It's my little photo album right here I use. Let's see. Wow. I don't want to spend too much time looking for this. But all in all, you want to take your time. You want to under tweak your bass. And you want that bass to talk to you. You want that bass to show you what it needs. And I don't know where it is. Here it is. There it is. Okay. Picture's coming up in a moment. This figure right here, let's see if we can blow this up a little bit. I want to bring you all the way in. Yeah. Now, if you look at the back prongs on this bass right here, right there, look at that. Now that's a traditional tutor total team control bass. All right, you see those back prongs compared to the prongs up here in the front. The coach who owns that bass, he did too much to it. Now, if you tweak the bass properly, you can get that transparent look on the prongs, but the prongs will be straight and even, and you can get a lot of performance out of a prong that's smashed out like that. But if you look closely at the tips, look how pointed the tips are. See? This bass is over tweaked. All right? You said you used a pencil eraser back in the 70s. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we just used our fingers, man. And but there was an older guy. He back then he was like in his 30s. And he was tweaking back then because his figures were moving back then the way our figures move now. And he was like just kicking our ass, man. He wouldn't tell us nothing. I tell a story all the time, man. I could have been no more than maybe like 11 years old, and I remember feeling like so hurt and so down because I'm like, dude, you a grown man, you an adult, you supposed to be teaching us, right? And this dude, he wasn't telling us nothing. He played with somebody. He played with the old school Washington Redskins, and his figures was flying up and down the board, man, and they was pushing us. They was pushing my figures all up and down the table, and I didn't understand why. When I came back in the hobby in 2002, I saw guys, man, whose figures was moving just like that, and I was like, and I heard the word tweaking. What? And I started tweaking my bases, and I said, man, this is what dude was doing back then. So we, as kids, we got lucky, right? And we got a base. We made some trades, or we may have gotten lucky and met an older person who once played and they don't play no more, and they'll either give you that stuff or you go cut some grass and you get like $25 and you buy their bases, whatever, and you get lucky and you find good bases in that bunch, right? And when that happened, because my aunt's husband, he used to play, and he gave me all his stuff. I had like four shoe boxes full of nothing but bases, and then he had like Ziploc bags of all these teams. Right? It was like Christmas and summertime, dude. Yeah. So, and I went through those bases, and those bases was doing more than what I already had. Right? So as you see right here in this picture, that's what an over tweaked base look like. You don't want to do that to your base. All right. Let's close this out. So we're back. Okay. So what I did earlier in this video, I trimmed the front prongs of our base on the board over here. And I didn't trim the back prongs yet. Right? So I'm doing little steps to this base, and I'm sharing my journey with this base with you here on the Electric Coach channel. All right? So I still gotta do. It's still more to do to this base. Like I got the back prongs. I have the back prongs that I have to that I can trim or I can leave them alone. It just depends. You know. So the thing is, when do you stop tweaking a base? And hey, I don't know. You depending on what you've done to it, and also it depends on what you want that base to do. That's good speed. Like if I want to, I can stop right here with this base, right? And perhaps use it in game play. Like as it stands right now, that could be a kick returner. That could be a kick return person. Or I could use it to blitz. Like if there's a gap opening in the middle of the field somewhere, I could send this guy straight through that gap if I want to, with the base as it is. All right? But no, I'm not going to do that because I know there's more that I can do to this base to get it to respond. Right? To get more out of it. Because already as it stands, right? Okay, I know that this base is going to push this guy. Because this one has been tweaked and this one hasn't. All right? I'm going to put this one back in the package because I want to keep track of these. All right? We're going to put these ones back in here. See? So now I have, let's do this. I'm gonna take the base off and I'm gonna put them on my customized, soon-to-be Chiefs figure. All right, gonna run them. You see that? It runs and it zigzags. It does stuff. Good movement. All right. And when I match it up against another another customized figure, right? Let's see what it does. See how well it holds up. Yeah, it held its ground. Didn't get pushed back. Oh yeah, it's doing its job. See, my plan is with this base is to perhaps put this on a cornerback. All right. Um. Now in this video, I was going to talk about. I was going to do a play analysis, but the vibe is more about tweaking. So I was going to save. I guess I'll do that analysis perhaps in another video. Like I got this play right here that I was going to show you guys, but I don't think you guys are interested right now in play analysis. You guys are showing me that you are interested in tweaking. All right. So unless the mood changes, we may go back over to this play. I have two plays, by the way, loaded that I can show you and talk about. And it pretty much covers base tweaking also. You know, you'll see a game where coaches have their teams set to play, ready to go, and their figures are moving, right? But the vibe of this video is saying stay focused on base tweaking. And that's what we're going to do. All right? We're not going to be here. We're not going to be here like all night, 4 hours long, you know. We're going to go as we flow. I'll get the feel and I'll know when to pull out, all right, and close out. All right? So now, I got those back prongs I want to clip. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to monitor the base's performance. And for those of you who didn't see when I clipped the front prongs, you'll see how I clip the back ones. There was a question I was asked. What's the best way to angle back? Okay, yeah. When you angle prongs, you can use your needle nose pliers. I'll show you that real quick. Let me take him off and put him back on this guy right here. Now here's what I do to angle prongs. You have your needle nose pliers. Got flat pliers, right? And you also have, grab these. These are your wider jaw pliers, all right? Now, ITZ has a pair of pliers that they manufactured. They're duckbill pliers like these, but they're a little thicker. And the jaws are bent. So when you grab the prongs and they're heated and the pliers are heated, you can curl the prongs using those pliers. I have yet to buy a pair of those. I'm always buying the bases anyway. So I use my needle nose pliers and I grab each prong sideways like this and I roll the prong like so. Roll it. See? And this is one of the things I do when I get the bass brand new out the pack. I roll those prongs a little bit to get those prongs to sweep back a little. All right? Let's see. Went off on those prongs. Yeah. Um, you said I went off on those prongs. No, that wasn't me. That bass was owned by somebody else. You talking, Kenneth? You're talking about those that picture I showed you of the over tweaked bass, right? Let me go back and get that. Close that. Man, are you talking about this bass right here, Kenneth? No, that's not mine. That's that. I took the picture. That bass belonged to a different coach. No, that's not me. Let's see. Go back to the picture here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, that bass right there is not me. See, new coaches, you must have a game plan for what you have, for what you want your defense and offense needs to do. And Coach Mo is telling you yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Kim. Yeah, that bass right there, that bass not mine. I didn't do that. No. Now, one thing about me, I will claim my work. When the coach showed me that picture, I had to get a picture of that. No, he didn't show me a picture. He showed me the bass at a tournament, and I had to get a picture of that. All right, and so I use that as a teachable moment. You guys are new to tweaking. This is not what you want. All right, Coach K looks like a bass from my pile of shame. Yeah, I got a pile of shame too, Coach. When I first started tweaking, I tore up probably about maybe like 15 bases. So then I started I began to reevaluate my approach, and what I learned was don't be in a hurry to get this base to work. To work, flatten the prongs first. Work on flattening the prongs. See, the one thing I cannot teach you about bass tweaking is how the pliers feel in your hands, right? See, tweaking is about, I grab these pliers here. When I hold the pliers in my hand and when I squeeze down, what I feel is going to be different than what you feel, right? So the objective when you tweak is to not tear up the bass. So if it means you got to find your touch, that's what you got to do. All right? Tweaking is about feel. What does the bass feel like in your hands when you squeeze on the prongs? You have to find that. All right? Okay. So now let me put these pliers over here. Put those down. Try to keep things tidy here, man. All right? So, I want to trim those back prongs. All right? These back prongs here. So I'm going to get my trim guide tool right here, see? and I use the 1.5 millimeter setting. See, 1 millimeter is too thin. It's going to take too much. It's going to take too much plastic, too much trim off the prongs. All right. And another thing, when you trim your bases, whatever you do, you want the front. Well, okay, this how can I say this? Either you want all the prongs on the base the same length, all right, or you want the front prongs slightly shorter than the back. You never want the back prongs. You never want the front prongs sitting higher than the back prongs. Okay, so like for example, here's a side view of the figure, right? Let's zoom it in a little bit. Let's get in here. Put it right about there. You don't want your figure sitting up like that. That's going to spell trouble for you. A base that's higher in the front than in the back is a base that's going to get pushed all over the field. You want the back of the base slightly jacked up higher than the front. If you want a slant, if you want like a lean in your base, you want that back higher than the front. You never want the front higher than the back. Or you want all the prongs around the base, front and back, to be even. Okay? But you never want the front prongs higher than the back prongs. All right? Okay, it looks like a base. Okay. Now, here's my trim tool. And here are my straight edge toenail clippers that we use to trim the front prongs. All right? So I'm going to get my trim tool here. And I'm going to put the base on this trimmer like this. Make sure all the prongs are exposed. Let me turn my fingers here. See if we can get a look. Make sure the prongs are protruding through the slots on this trim tool. Right? Make sure you get it. Make sure we can see this here. See those prongs? See how they're protruding? That's what you want. That's the back of the base. All right? Let me give you a close-up image. Picture here. Yeah, no wheelies. We don't want no wheelies. So we're going to bring you over to the desktop again. And I want to show you how the prongs look when they protrude from the trim tool. Now you're looking here, right? You see this the white portion in there? That's the trim. That's the edge of the trimmer tool. And you see the prongs are protruding from the trim tool right here. All right? That's what we're going to clip off. Okay? That's the back of the base. That's what the back of the base looks like right now. All right? So we're going to trim that off in just a moment. I'm going to switch you back over to the game table so we can do that. All right? And back over to the game table we go. All right? Have our straight edge toenail clippers. We got our lighter for flashing. And of course, we got pliers. And these are the pliers I'm using right now. All right, these three here. All right, let's do this. And I welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. I welcome you to the Electric Coach channel. And you also, there's going to be little clippings from your trim trapped inside here. So you want to clean that out because you don't want those clippings to get in the way of your trim. All right. So let's get ready. Let's get our tool, our trim tool, and the base, right? You want to find the best grip so you can get the smoothest cut, right? So take the straight edge of your clippers, line it up, make sure we got it. Now, I didn't clip it yet. Make sure all four prongs are inside the jaws of the clippers. And you trim. And you should have, if you're lucky, if it comes off clean, you should have 4 pieces of clipped plastic sitting inside the jaws of your trim tool. I don't know if you can see those 2 pieces right there. That's 2 right there. The other 2 are up top. They're on the top. So these 2 came from the inside prongs, and those 2 pieces of plastic came from the outside prongs. Now, before we take the base off, we're going to look at the trim. You're going to, by eye, and of course using your glasses, your magnifying glasses. I don't have them on right now. I'm going by eye. I'm going with a naked eye. We look at the base, and we look at our trim. And I think I did a pretty good job. I got an even cut. All right. So now, the next thing we do before we do anything else, we're going to run the base. All right. You want to do a check also. Take the base when it's off the trimmer. You want to look at it. Look at your prongs and see if that cut came out even. Looks pretty good so far. Going to set our base on the board. And let's run. Look at that. Now it's turning like to the right very violently. Ooh, it's not good at all. All right, so here we go. Because now when you clip your prongs, when you clip those prongs, you run the risk of a little bit of flash, creating more flash on your prongs. And these prongs back here are probably, these ones right here on this side right over here, are probably grabbing the board. All right? Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to put my duckbill pliers on those prongs there. We'll smash on them again. All right. Use our fingers, do a little sweep. Let's run it. Still looping. All right, do it again. Next thing, lighter. Because it appears that these prongs on the right, the back prongs on this side are gripping. All right. Got a lighter. Do it again. See what happens. Looping. But guess what? Bass still can play. That's a blister. So this right here is a teachable moment. We saw the bass earlier. Before I trimmed the back prongs, it ran straight down the field, right? And before that, it was run to the left. We put the bass on different figures. Player ran to the right. Matter of fact, let's do this. We're going to switch this bass over. And we're going to put it on a different figure and see what it does. All right. Still run to the right. Take it off of him. Move it over to this guy. Okay, going to the right, but a little further up the board. Using those pliers. Still a little twist work. Now this is when you can like experiment with twisting your prongs to correct movement in a bass. See what we get. This time, it still went to the right, but it was more of a slant. See that? That's what I'm talking about. This is what bass tweaking is. This is what you're gonna go through when you tweak basses. All right, let's switch them back over. Put them back over on our traditional Haley Repro figure. See what happens. On that guy, it turns to the right. You see? And this is where your inner GM comes in. Now, I'm not done tweaking on this bass. Right? Not done at all. Do a little bit more on these prongs right here. These prongs right here is what's grabbing. All right? What I want to do, I'm going to hit these prongs on this side right here with the lighter. Okay, run it. Now, get my Zerm pliers. Let's see. Bite down these prongs a little bit more. Check. Run it. Turn to the right. Switch them. Let's see what it does on this figure again. If it Okay, let me read questions here. Okay, he said a post route if you use them. If it you said you spell TUE. What is that, Leon? If it I was told if it turns to the right, that means your prongs on the right are too short. Yeah, or too curved. Yeah. What I did was when I trimmed it, the plastic on that side is a little more tacky and it grabs. That's why I put the lighter on it again. Now I put a custom figure on that base. I'm gonna run it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it still goes to the right, but it goes a little further. That pose causes the base to run like that. So that's what this video is about. You're seeing the different outcomes. Every time I do something to the base, I trim the front. If I had stopped there, right, the base would have just ran straight. When I trim the rear prongs, the base now is going back running to the right again. All right? So what you want to do is you keep working with the base, taking care not to over tweak the base to where you run the base into the ground and you can't use it. You don't want that. All right? And it's true, yeah. You have either the prongs, you can have prongs that are longer on one side, all right? Or sometimes long prongs can do it too, because the longer prong is grabbing and it's causing the base to swing that way. If it's short, the figure, usually when you got a short figure, you got short prongs. The prongs are short on both the front and the back on one side, and that causes the base to turn. The reason why I know it's these prongs right here on the back. You see where my pliers pointing at? This pair of prongs right here on this side, the right side of the figure, the right rear side. I know it's those prongs because when you trim the prongs, when you trim the tips of the prongs, you get into the core of the plastic. And in there, that plastic is tacky. And because this corner of the base right here, on this particular base, it's a little more tacky right here. And that side is grabbing. This side is not grabbing as much. So the base is pivoting almost. The base is pivoting on this pair of prongs right here. Right? So that's why I'm taking my pliers here, my Zerons, and I'm smashing on these tips a little bit more on this side. Right? Trying to flatten that out. Now the idea is, do I want the base to continue to, do I want to keep the base turning, or do I want it to go back straight? And with speed like that, I can keep it just like it is. I can stop here if I want to. See? Let me move it over here. I'm going to put it on my tight end figure. See? Now, that figure, it goes up the field, but it runs kind of snaky. See? So, do you see what's happening with the base? All right? So, if you was to go back and look at the first EF Talk video concerning this base, all the way up till now, you'll see how the base came alive as I tweaked on it. You see? So if you apply these concepts, the concepts that I'm teaching you, you'll keep your bases, you won't tear your bases up, right? And you'll learn to bring the base up slow. right? Move it back over here to, hold on, what's this guy? All right, here's another one of my figures. Another one of my 49er figures. All right, changing the pose up a little bit. This one's a little bit shorter. This is going to be a 49er fullback use check. Put him on him. See what happens. Good speed, good get off. And it goes over up here a little bit. And that time it ran the distance. You see? There it is. So listen, guys. We are going to adjourn here today. And I thank you for joining me, coming on. This is the Electric Coach channel. And this is Electric Football Open Talk. Analysis and tweak. I'm Mo. Thanks for watching.